Good evening. My name is Susan. I'm an enrollment coordinator on behalf of George Mason, and I'm joined here with Dr. Ratikova to talk about the online Masters of Applied Information Technology. So I want to make sure that you can hear me. So if you can use your chat feature just to tell me where you're from, and then we're just going to wait a few minutes to let people trickle in, and I see they are trickling in. Good evening again. My name is Susan. I'm an enrollment coordinator on behalf of George Mason. I'm joined here tonight with the director of the Online Masters of Applied Information Technology, Dr. Ratikova. So we are going to talk about the program. Actually, she's going to talk about the program. And with respect to the application process, I can answer questions regarding that. So what we're going to do, the agenda for this evening is Dr. Ratikova will introduce herself, and then we'll talk about why George Mason's AIT program, okay? And then we'll talk a little bit about the online format of the program and any admissions questions and requirements. I can speak about those, and then Q&A. Okay, so in terms of how to participate, you're not going to be able to raise your hand, but there is the chat feature, okay, and also the Q&A. All right, so for any questions, feel free to input them throughout the program, and then depending, we can either answer them throughout the session. Dr. Ratikova, we didn't discuss how you wanted to do that, or at the end, however you'd like to do that. Okay.
Any moment, questions are always welcome. Well, we can move on to the next slide. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Ratikova. It's such a pleasure to be here today. Every time when I give this, when I meet with students or prospective students or just with students, doesn't matter, I get super excited. And particularly the reason why is because I'm really excited about this program. I've been working in academia probably, I could say, all my life. I came from a family with my parents and grandparents who also worked in academia. So I really enjoy being in this academic environment. I see what a difference it makes for many people who come to us, and then they come back and they stay in touch. When they say, well, professor, I actually did this and that, and then I found a new job, and I just had a great offer, or it's all great, but my favorite one, professor, I just used what you taught me and it actually worked. This is probably the best compliment a professor may receive. So for me, when I end up, and if I look back, I've been in this department for quite some time because I'm not only a professor, I'm also an associate chair and a director for this online program. But more importantly, I was all these years, because I am so passionate about education. It's my interest. I am overseeing, well, I could say leading pretty much all initiatives, not only at the level of our department, but also college and school level and university level of innovative teaching and learning. I received, well, I guess this is the point when I brag, but I received multiple outstanding teaching awards, not because I'm so amazing, but I think because I'm so enthusiastic about what I do, that these awards are it was very, very to me it's important, because every time when you try new things and you try to implement some ideas in your classes, you sometimes don't know whether it works or not. And when you receive this feedback, not only from students, but from your colleagues, then that means a lot. So you know that you're doing something useful for students, it's working, and students appreciate that. The reason why I bring this up, not just to brag, but because our department, as I will say later, is probably, it's not just about the program, it's about the department. When you come to our program, you become part of our department, which means you will be working with the best researchers in the field. And I can talk about this for hours, because we have a very strong community because IT is so interdisciplinary. We have a great community of researchers in cybersecurity. We have one of the most successful cybersecurity research centers, and the majority of our faculty are affiliated with them. We also have a very strong community in AI and machine learning and HCI, human computer interaction. So our research interests are very wide. We collaborate with many other researchers, not only in our school, but also outside of our school, internally in the university and outside, which means that everything we do, it comes back to our classes and our students. I'm both. I'm kind of jealous because I think, I wish I could take all our classes myself, but I'm also very, very proud because when students come to our program, I know that we will deliver the best result from every aspect of this educational process. It's not only that we have outstanding researchers, we have outstanding teachers, because many of our faculty, we received outstanding teaching awards. And there are different levels of awards. So we have pretty much everything in online and in person. And even our adjunct faculty, we have some, and even they received some of the outstanding teaching awards. So anyway, what I'm trying to say that the program that we have to offer is one of the truly top programs that on the market today. We can maybe move to the next slide. And look at the some specifics about the program. Here we go. So I know it's a lot of words here, but the idea is truly that the program offers a high quality curriculum. And we have, for the online program, we have the concentrations on the screen. But in addition to that, our on ground program has, like, for instance, HCI, human computer interaction concentration, the IT management concentration. We also just created a new, which is not even listed, it's not available yet, but we already got approved, and the applied AI concentration will appear in the catalog in fall 2025, which means that we are a very dynamic department. Because again, IT changes. You wake up in the morning and by the end of the day, it's already changed, and you need to be prepared for that. So that's what we teach. We are very proud that our department, and I try to be very focused, and I promise that I will just stick to the topics, although I can talk so much about it that it's my personal opinion, but that's based on what I hear, read and do research on, that our department is uniquely positioned in our days compared to the CS department, for instance. Because with this recent development of AI, which affects everything, including education, it is quite a challenge for everyone, for students, for professors. It seems like it's very helpful, but you need to know how to work with that. But what I'm trying to say is that now the focus, we have the CS department. That's one of the most common questions. So what's the difference between you and CS? So the CS department is very fundamental. They go into theory, they discuss theoretical models, they develop these theoretical models. When it comes to us, it's all about applications. That's why, again, in our days when AI is right there, machine learning, big data, data analytics, we have it all. What we do, we teach students how to apply that. We are a very hands-on program. Pretty much everywhere you go, you will have some sort of projects and or practice exercises or collaboration with other students. In compared to the CS department, for instance, we do cover fundamentals, but our goal is to prepare students to this variety of options, all the applications that are available out there, because this is the way where current research goes, and even our life. Pretty much all the applications can be used in education, in health, in industry. You can choose anything, even our everyday life. So that would be something that I would always share with our prospective students, because we often get questions. So if I don't have a lot of experience in IT, if my background is not in IT, or it's not CS, or I don't have maybe a very advanced math, or I did my bachelor degree, let's say 5, 10, 20, 30 years ago, and everything is fine. And we are that program. I'm always proud to say that we are that program compared to many other programs where they have lots of prerequisites, and even to enter the program, you have to have a solid background in advanced math, advanced maybe computer science particularly. So, and it's great for that path. It's important, and that's what the purpose of that department. But for us, the way we designed from the very beginning this program, and we don't have time to talk about the history, but historically, we actually developed this program for government agencies because they wanted to provide training for their employees with very different backgrounds. So we had to kind of come up with some creative ideas, creative approaches to help students from different backgrounds, different levels, and bring them all together to that common knowledge. So that's the reason why, even if students don't have solid experience or background in IT, we do accept students. If a student has absolutely no experience in IT, which doesn't happen often, but once in a while you might see this too, we accept students provisionally. It doesn't mean anything that it's nothing bad. It only means that you will need to take one more prep course to help you. It's part of those 10 courses, so it's not extra, but you will need to complete this course to be prepared for the program. We implemented this many years ago, maybe 5-7 years ago, and since then most of our, almost everyone, I usually sign all the forms of students who want to leave this program. It rarely happens. Pretty much everyone successfully gets through the program. They're excited, they're curious, they're interested. So in general, this program has a great future. It's designed very well. What we do, we consistently add new courses, new concentrations, because IT changes all the time. And our goal is not just to teach. That's also important from this perspective of future jobs. What we do, we don't just teach or use this tool or that application. We try to teach students skills that in the next 5 years will be critical. Those skills, such skills as, for instance, creativity, collaborative skills, because I will talk more about classes later, but we do require students to collaborate together. They work in teams, they collaborate, and they consult with professors and with GTAs. So I will talk about more about this late in a moment. So, but let me answer a question here for on campus. All right, so
That was just me.
great
That was just
question.
me.
I love this question. If I could talk about the AI concentration all day long. It was a great success, to be honest. And the concentration itself is very interesting. Currently, it will be in fall 2025. It will be available for the on-ground program, but our goal is to add it to the online program. Also, I just cannot give you the specific date. Hopefully fall works fine, maybe spring, but if you're interested, I would suggest to contact me in fall, and then we can talk more about it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Next slide.
Okay.
Well, this is by far my favorite slide. I know it's only just a few points here and there, and I wish you were in our classrooms to see how it works. Well, first of all, if you look at our courses that throughout the entire program, they are very professionally developed. I always tell this story. To me, it's funny, but I don't know how funny it is. When COVID happened, then everybody had to switch to online classes. And right after that, maybe in a year or so, people were saying, well, we're fine. We're doing great in online education. We have classes. And so everybody felt like they were experts. Maybe they were, I don't know. All I can say is that our department was the first department in the university that created the entire program online. And it happened about 12 or 13 years ago. Which means way, way, way before COVID, we were already experts. As the director of online education says, that's my favorite quote, he said for our college, he always says that the ICT department not only developed this program first, but they developed policies and procedures and best practices that the rest of the university followed. So we are true. I can proud again here we go. I'm bragging again that we are proud to be experts in online education. All the courses in the program, they are designed with some professional assistance. So courses are media rich. We have collaborative learning environments, as I mentioned earlier, that students work in groups. And if you're concerned that, again, no time for this, but once you get to the program and you get to my class is one of the first, actually the first class that students take. So once you get to me, I will talk so much about it. But the way we use, again, a lot of innovative ideas in education. We don't let students start taking the class and then 8 weeks later, each class is 8 weeks. And 8 weeks later, we say, well, who are you? Hello. So now it's the time for the final exam. We work with students consistently every day. And I mean it, every day. We have assignments, we have some collaborative assignments, we have projects, we have, well, we do have some exams and maybe because it's important, but what's more important, again, even exams, it's all hands-on. So we don't require, we do have, again, theoretical questions, but mostly hands-on. What I'm trying to say is that the way it works during the week, well, first of all, we communicate with students through announcements and emails nearly almost every day, just because the reason why I'm so careful with that, because last year one of the students said, Professor, it's a lot, it's too much, don't send so many emails. Okay, I will slow down. So we're trying to find that balance to make sure that there is no cognitive overload. My research is in cognitive learning, and I incorporate lots of ideas there. And I have 2 research groups, which again include all the ideas into our courses. But so first of all, we communicate often with students. Although that's important, I really want to say that very loudly so that everyone can hear me, that although the program is 100% online, which is true, nevertheless, we offer every week, we have what we call optional class meetings, when once a week, sometimes some professors do it twice a week, it depends, because I do it once a week, it's enough. Once a week, I meet with students, I sit down like we sit here, but right now I'm not asking any questions and you're just listening. But in my class, everybody participates, we work together, we ask questions, we go over the course and how just everything. That's once a week. Online. And what I usually do, I ask students to select the time that works best for them, because every semester I get new students, different students, and I have a variety of options on the day or on the time when we meet. So usually, like for instance, this semester, I'm meeting with students at 6 p.m. Last semester, it was 7 p.m. because students wanted to. Well, and in addition to that, again, I'm very proud to say that we have teaching assistants. I understand for students it might be not maybe that significant, but not every department, not every program have GTAs. That's something that we are very happy to have. It's supported by the Dean's office, and I'm very grateful for that. And our GTAs also have office hours once a week. Professors, in addition to optional class meetings, we also have office hours, so you can also schedule an individual meeting with a professor. And we try to again to work with with students' schedule, so it's in the evening. I give flexibility to students whenever you need, we can meet, and they work with GTAs in addition to that. So I feel that our students are supported a lot. The way the courses are designed, they follow, since we worked with professional designers, then our courses, they all have the same course organization, the same structure, the same colors, views, design, everything. Well, the content changes, but every time when students move to the next course, they don't panic. They already know what this course, how the course looks, and how the course is organized, is structured, what to expect. So there might be slightly different requirements, but students don't waste their time on moving around trying to find something. It's very, very professionally done. So that's really important. In addition, maybe we need to move to the next one. As I mentioned earlier, I will quickly repeat that we have, yeah, here we go. So you can find some of the numbers for what to expect after you graduate. And numbers change, and we'll see how it goes in the next few years. What I also I would like to mention that I know there is a lot of concern, which I understand where it comes from, a lot of concern about future jobs in IT, in any field, IT related field, and I agree with that. I have very good news for you. It does affect, according to research and statistics, because we do this, we check it literally every day, because we are very concerned about our students, and we have a lot of support for our undergraduate students currently who have troubles finding jobs. So, but what happens at the moment is happening at the moment is that all the AI developments, they affect most undergraduate graduates. So those students, they're quite vulnerable. I will agree with that. But statistics shows that master's students and master's degrees and PhD degrees are more valuable now than even before. So, which to me, again, we don't have time to go into details, but to me, it makes perfect sense. Simple tasks can be provided by AI, but once it gets to the point where you need to think, you need to synthesize knowledge, you need to create new knowledge, so innovation comes into play. And that's what we try to do in our graduate program. We're very focused on that, not just technologies, but we're trying to work with students and boost their imagination, creativity, as well as their technical background also. So again, I wouldn't worry too much. And in my estimations, that since you're starting right now, within the next 2 to 3 years, we will figure out what to do with students, with an industry will figure out what they do, with what they need to do. Because now some of the European companies, I just read an article about that about a year ago, they fired pretty much everyone. And now they say, well, actually, we still need people. So they started hiring people back. So it will take maybe some time to for everybody to adjust, but with this education, you will be quite prepared for pretty much anything that comes in the next few years. Thank you. Next slide. And I believe I'm almost done. This is also, again, to me, that's like music to my eyes, music to my ears, but it's for my eyes. It's like I'm looking at this and thinking, wow, it's amazing. We have, so that's what we have to offer. And as an educator with, well, some experience, I can say that this curriculum was developed not just, well, one day we woke up and said, well, how about we teach cloud computing security, for instance, one of the best courses we have. But we created, in every semester, we review curriculum, we add new courses, we remove outdated courses. So we pay very close attention to what's going on in industry. And by the way, we also have, our department has a great advisory board. So we connect with the industry very closely. I forgot to say something, so let me say it here before I forget again. In addition to faculty who are outstanding, I love working with our faculty. In addition to that, we also invite, it's called adjunct faculty. These are, and I don't know if you're familiar with the term, but these are industry leaders. They come as guest lecturers, they come as, sometimes they teach our classes, and they are your best contact with the industry. They're always very supportive of our students. If you want to network and if you want connections, then that's what you can do. That's all. We always help students connect to the industry. Again, advisory board, we have some events, but the college provides some events. But in addition to that, your instructors, your professors, they all have PhDs, but they are the ones who are connecting you to the real world, and they help us bridge our program with what's expected by the industry. We're very lucky to have that. I will use only one quick example. I teach one of the first courses, like database management systems. And what I did this semester, I was so happy about that. But we have an outstanding adjunct who is currently the director for all AI and machine learning initiatives in a very large company, and she teaches in our two courses actually in our program. And what she proposed to do is to develop an additional module on AI to be utilized in our classes. And I was thrilled with this idea. We developed this this module for this semester for 524. We experimented with that in spring. Students loved it. We received, I always run surveys because I always have students to let me know how we're doing, and students are very open with me. And the response was outstanding. They said, professors, that's exactly what we need to see, how everything we learn can be connected to AI. So I'm now super excited about the rest of the courses. Hopefully we can add that. But so that's what I forgot to mention earlier, that in addition to professors working, full-time professors, we also have industry connections that you might find interesting. And about the curriculum, what I wanted to say is that this curriculum was developed. We created a task force that was our department, industry experts, and we worked on this together. It's not just what we professors think is important, but we listen to the industry. And the new concentration in AI that was developed specifically with the input from our industry contacts. So if there are any questions about this, we can talk about this maybe right after the presentation. Maybe we have, I think that's pretty much it. But let's look the next slide if we, I believe.
That's the online learning. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So,
Okay. So this is just and that's what I wanted to say. So this is the overall. That's what I probably should. Well, I would like to share with you. And now I'll be more than happy to answer any question.
yeah, so please, attendees, don't be shy because you have the program director here to answer your questions. And I spoke to some of y'all today and you had questions, but I will ask some of them on your behalf. So what can you tell me the difference between machine learning and AI? Is that an easy?
Oh, well, this is a dangerous question. Thank you for asking. Since this is recorded and then people will listen to that, it's very difficult to answer this question. Let me explain why. The reason why is because that was so obvious this last year when our faculty were developing this new concentration, and we developed both undergraduate and graduate, because each and single person has an opinion about what AI is, each and single person. And it's, in many cases, there are some similarities, but I discovered that people see it differently, they understand it differently, which is understandable because AI is such a large area right now with so many directions that and new directions that appear every day. Well, if I would, the way I would answer this question, because some people say, well, machine learning is just one of the parts of AI. Others say that, well, they're very different because they approach data different. So that's why I'm very careful if when it comes to a definition, everyone has their own definition. But what I want to say is that the way it's designed in our course, in our program, so that's what I think is important for students. If you look at the machine learning engineering concentration, we focus on NLP, so natural language processing. This is one of the most promising areas right now in, again, if depending on how you classify AI in different directions, but it's part of that bigger umbrella. And we do have some applications, but mostly it's about natural language processing and data analytics in that field. And what we designed for the applied AI concentration, we covered fundamentals of AI, not at the CS level, but still we covered some theory with lots of applications, but it's still fundamentals. We also added one more programming language. And what we did for electives, we offer different applications, like for instance, AI in cyber, just examples, but AI in cybersecurity, AI in big data analytics, AI in HCI. And what our plan, I'm really excited about anything in healthcare, but we're not there yet. But maybe next step would be we'll look into that. So what I'm trying to say is that that concentration is specifically designed, and we were thinking so much about there are different ways to design an AI program or AI concentration. I design a lot of programs and concentrations and courses. That's part of my job, and I've seen many different approaches. So that was a long discussion how to approach that. So we ended up with building strong foundation in AI. Whatever happens, even if tomorrow they will come up with new ideas, new applications, new directions, but students will have that very solid foundation. And then we will keep adding applications as they appear on the market. So we felt that it will be solid but flexible. And again, as you can see, I'm very excited about it. But machine, all other concentrations. Can I, Susan, if I could quickly say something else, because that's
Yeah,
important.
of course.
Only yesterday, I've read another report about this, and it's so interesting. So for the next 5 years, directions that future job directions in, I don't want to put in IT, but in technical fields. And I was a bit surprised. I had different directions, and not completely different, but slightly different. But they said, number one, AI, number two, big data analytics, which was interesting to me. And we have that. In it, I was thinking that cybersecurity always goes first. I mean, after AI is AI, and then cybersecurity. But I was pleased to see that big data is still here. We were the first department who came up with big data direction, and we are very happy about that. We're still doing this. We're now applying that in AI and machine learning and other fields. So and it's good to see that this direction is still strong. Obviously, we have so much data, but I'm curious to see how this will evolve. So all the directions are very good. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's amazing. Yes, technology is definitely where it's at. So Mason also offers an online master's of data analytics of engineering.
Mhm.
And so y'all have the AIT with the concentration of data analytics and intelligence methods. Would you know how they differ?
I do.
Okay, great.
And the reason why, because I was one of those people who also participated in the development of that program. I am in our college. I participated in many programs where if IT is even mentioned, then I'm there in that program probably. And I only say that because if you have any questions, prospective students, our guests today, please contact me, because I am that person who probably has most answers about pretty much all these programs. So I have some good news, probably, I guess. The difference is, so the data analytics engineering program, that's an interdisciplinary program, which means that all departments, they contribute to that program. Now, what you probably don't know, that the majority of courses in data analytics engineering online program, they are provided by our department. So, which means that yes, there is a difference between this program, I would say on-ground program, data analytics engineering, and our on-ground MSAIT program, because because we also participate in the PhD program, we provide higher level courses and we have directions. But that program, other departments contribute to it, and they have, I think last year it was 11 concentrations in the on-ground program. In the online program, it's only one. It's only 10 courses, and that's pretty much what they have. We have a bit more variety, and we provide courses, more specific courses for each direction.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you for clarifying that. So, another thing is this is designed obviously for working professionals. How many hours do you
Oh,
think are spent typically on average?
this is a great question. In my course, what I have once you see our courses, I even have a section on that because I want students to be very clear about the workload.
Mhm.
Um, well, it largely depends on students' background, to be honest.
Sure.
I can give numbers and I don't want to scare people, so please don't run away. But the US Department of Education, and I have all as a researcher, I can provide links and resources because that's how we work. For a 3 credit course, students spend up to 6 hours additionally at home. So for one class, for a 3 credit course, it's expected that students will spend up to 9 hours per week.
Oh, that's not bad.
Well, given that this is an accelerated program, so it depends, it might be a little more. So
Right.
but what's important is, again, I don't want to scare people. This is standard. That's the national standard. It has nothing to do with our program. I don't want, if somebody tells, if you go to a master's program and they say, well, you only need to read 1 hour in our program, don't go there. I don't know what it is, but just don't go there. So this is, they're probably not certified. They're not, it's just don't go there. There is no accreditation most likely because that's against the rules. But what I see, what I observe in my classes all the time, and I'm again very specific about the amount of work that students complete per week because I do educational research. I actually time students. I can see how much time they spent on different activities and assignments. If students have background, then it takes less time, and some students even finish again much faster and largely because our courses are very flexible in their design. But I promise it will be a quick story, but it's important because in my class, just an example, but again, all our classes are similar because in my classes, I provide, for instance, required resources, recommended learning resources, and optional learning resources. If a student is very new to IT, they might need to read a little bit more. If students already know something, which also very common, then they can just focus on the required parts and materials. When it comes to assignments in my classes, I have options. I say, if you know this part or if you feel comfortable, if it's easier, then pick only 5 problems from this list and complete them, and those act like exercises, practice problems. Then in addition to that, I also ask students to work together, and that usually, and it's done in a very innovative way. Many students are concerned because they say, well, if we work together, if one student didn't complete their work, then I will not be able to do. No. The way it's designed, it's a completely new idea. It's designed in a way that each person can work individually, but at the same time, they can also work together. And usually my students work together because we are very supportive, and my GT and I, we're very always excited about this. So yes, ours might seem scary a little bit, although again, standard numbers, but it's very flexible. That's what I think is important.
That is phenomenal. No, that's great. Okay. So y'all, please don't be shy. I don't see any questions. I can't be the one asking all the questions, but let's go ahead, Dr. Ratikova, if it's okay with you to just move on to a little bit more about how the classes are formatted online. And so if you haven't spoken with an enrollment coordinator, feel free to reach out to myself or my team. And the contact information will be on the last slide, and you can actually scan the code. And we'd be happy to assist you with the application process. So basically, this program is a 20-month program, and that equates to 5 semesters. There's 3 semesters to a year. However, we give you up to, I believe it's 6 years to complete the degree. God forbid if you had to take a break. And sometimes people are relying on tuition reimbursement, so they want to parse it out strategically, which isn't a bad idea. Um, the program consists of 10 to 30 credits, and we can provide you with that curriculum. and provide you with the tuition and so forth. So, I'll go ahead and forward it to the next slide. And so basically, as an enrollment coordinator, again, we'll provide you with the curriculum and the information on the program, and then the application checklist, which is your guide to apply. And then you'll have a personal assistant like myself or one of my colleagues that will help, walk you through the process. And it really is very easy. So for the application process, you can use an unofficial transcript for admissions purposes as long as it has a degree conferral on it. Okay. And then a resume, one professional letter of reference. So it can't be from a family member or a friend. So a work colleague, professor, supervisor, and then a personal statement. Dr. Ratikova and the department want to know why you're interested in this and what your career goals are. So it's as easy as that. And you'll have my phone number, my text number, my email. So, you can reach out at any time. And this is the QR code as well as the contact information if you have not spoken to anybody yet. But I encourage you to not be shy. It's not very often that we have the program director just that will answer your questions. Okay. So Alice, do you have any questions? Not to put you on the spot. Vishnu, congratulations on your acceptance. Anybody? Abdullah, thank you for joining us. Megan, please don't be shy. Megan, you had your hand up earlier. So don't be shy. And I guess you're going to be shy. Everybody's shy. Oh, okay, so
Susan,
yes.
thank you so much. Maybe we could wait. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Susan for this amazing meeting, because I appreciate that I had the chance to speak about to talk about our program, to present it. For me, it's always a pleasure, and I'm happy to talk. I can speak again for hours about this. So thank you for all the questions. I appreciate sometimes I try to cover as much as possible, but I understand that students have very specific questions, and I appreciate that you prepared them in advance. It's very helpful. Thank you. I hope that Susan and we answered most of the questions that students have, but what we can do, we can stay here for maybe another 5-10 minutes until 8 p.m. And then if anybody thinks of anything, you can stay and then ask and then put it in the chat window. But we can just wait and see if anybody wants to bring up any questions. But I'd like to thank students for coming, because I understand it's very late. I'm looking at the window right now, and it's very late. And I appreciate that you took the time to be here today. I always tell students, I understand that I should probably kind of drag students to our program, but my goal is to help students find their program. I think this is so important. When I was working most at the undergraduate level, I remember, and I work with students, and as an advisor, I would see students who are like 18, 19, 20 years old, and they would be sitting in my office saying, I'm not sure what I'm doing here in this program. And this is always kind of sad, because they were brought by parents, or maybe their friends told them it's a great program. And we do have a great program, but they say, it's not me. And when I started working with graduate students, then that is a completely different population of students. They know what they want to do. They know exactly what they're interested in. And I encourage everybody, check around. I know that data analytics engineering also has similar orientation, so you might want to attend that one. Ask questions. That's a great program also. I work with them very, very closely, where we do a lot of interesting research and also courses. So check it around, see what works best for you, and then reach out to us with questions. We're here. But that was a wonderful opportunity to meet everybody, to talk about the program. So thank you for being here and letting us present that today. Oh, there's a question.
There is.
Oh, great question. Thank you, Alice. I love this question. Oh, that's one of my favorite questions. All right. So, well, first of all, the best way to prepare is to be excited. That's my answer. If a student comes in, that's what I like. Again, that's what I like about graduate students, because they know what they want to do. Healthcare is, as I mentioned earlier, is one of my favorite areas, because I, at the undergraduate level, I developed the whole healthcare concentration and also direction for the department, and it's very dear to me. I feel that, well, first of all, if that healthcare also has some sort of technical background in it, depending on the specific field, specific direction. But if there is some technical background, then that's a great start. And if there is none, then what I would suggest to do, you can contact, let me just put here in the chat window. So, and let me also, give me 1 second, 1 second. So this is the name of the professor, Dr. Boyko. He teaches, and he designed, and he teaches courses in I don't want to say just pure programming, but in courses where programming is part of the course. So fundamentals of programming, here we go. And the reason why I mentioned his name is because if students never had IT before or programming before, the only small suggestion, not even recommendation, small suggestion I have is to maybe to take or to find free, just take one of the introductory programming courses just for fun. Honestly, it's don't take it, just don't spend like hours and 20 hours per day, but look at it, see how it goes. Dr. Boyko, his primary research is in AI, but he also is very enthusiastic about education. He has a lot of resources to help students prepare for any direction in kind of, again, programming related directions. I would suggest to contact Dr. Boyko to say, well, that's my background, and I would appreciate if you share with me some ideas, and he can give you a list of resources. If for some reason you can't reach him, send me an email. I have a few resources too, but I would prefer Dr. Boyko to answer. Alice, did it help? Okay, perfect. So again, Doc, you will love talking to Dr. Boyko. Megan, great question. I love your question, because I would like to clarify that. So courses are asynchronous. There is no requirement on meeting on a certain day or a certain time, at a certain time. They are fully asynchronous. However, we provide lots of, we call them optional opportunities, because we cannot call them required. We cannot ask students to meet with us like we meet today. We call them optional class meetings, for instance. Then it's scheduled, like in my class, for instance, it's Monday, 6 p.m. In summer. What we also do, I forgot to mention this, but what we also record all our class meetings, and then these recordings, they're available for students. In addition to that, I forgot about this, but in addition to that, we also have video recordings for all the course materials that we teach. So the amount of videos that we provide, and it's in addition to resources that we also recommend, because for instance, I'm a big believer in open educational resources, and our students have free access to to now it's called LinkedIn Learning. But so that's like huge variety of any course that you're interested in a technical course, you can, not only technical, but business course, you can find it there. So we also recommend often those courses for additional information, different additional materials. Okay, now I got carried away, sorry.
No, that's great.
Okay.
No, absolutely. I have a question. So are there a lot, because it's all AI and so is there a lot of textbooks to be purchased or is it online material?
Great question. Well, I am a big believer in open educational resources, which means it was an initiative maybe 10 years ago when it all started, and our goal was to help students save money because textbooks are extremely expensive. We do have required textbooks, and students always ask, so should I buy it or not? And I will not answer this question. I always say I will not answer this question. What we provide is, well, first of all, videos that when we cover all the topics, pretty much all topics in each week. In addition to that, we also have PowerPoint presentations. Sometimes it's our voice over PowerPoint presentation recorded, and we explain what it is. And PowerPoint presentations, they come from the textbook. Sometimes some of the textbooks that we require, they might be open to public. So our university, for instance, they reserve some of the textbooks. In addition to that, there is something else. Well, there are some other additional resources that students may consider using if they cannot buy the book. Although, again, we recommend buying the book. It's better to have a book, but depending on your situation, we try to provide resources.
Wonderful. And so are the class meetings like Zoom meetings?
Yes, Zoom.
Okay, wonderful. So the professor can be in front of like a whiteboard and showing how to do all stuff.
Yep.
That's amazing. Okay, so there's another question.
Oh, Megan, again, I'm so happy to be here and answer all these questions. Um, I will be honest, with AI concentration, yes, the plan is to add it to the online program. With IT management, we struggled so hard 1 year ago when we developed the machine learning engineering concentration. Then the department voted for that concentration to be added to the online program. We had a choice between MLE and IT management. So the department said, let's go with MLE. IT management might be considered in the future, but not right now.
But if I may interject, so if you really, really, really want that IT management concentration, but really, really want online, you can start out online, take all the core courses online, and then you can switch to campus for the concentration, correct?
That's a wonderful point, Susan. I am so glad you mentioned this. If I could continue on that, because I forgot, I completely forgot. But that is a great idea, except for just one course. If you need help, talk to me. I will be happy to help. You can take three required courses, three core courses, because the IT management concentration has one different course. But what I wanted to say is that our on-ground program offers courses both in person and online. So theoretically, the majority of classes can be still completed online in the on-campus program, but I cannot guarantee that because that depends on enrollment and some requirements. Our on-ground program has a lot of international students. International students must have at least 2 in-person classes. That's why we offer a lot of in-person classes in the on-ground program.
Okay. And Bishnu had a question. Let's see here. Wanted to know about the different hands-on approaches you might take during these online classes to keep students involved, specifically in the MLE concentration.
Well, it depends on the course and on the professor. We are all very different, and we approach. It's always funny to hear all the discussions that professors are. Well, you know, I tried this and it worked. And um, some professors have and I because we also review each other's courses because we make sure that professional development is also very important to us. So we try to support that. Well, some professors, they have, for instance, a semester-long projects, which means that students will work, that's what I do. I ask students every week to work on a specific project. So they design like databases, like they design something, they develop that, and then they implement that, and they work with that. And that's the ongoing effort. Some professors have projects instead of the final exam, for instance. So that's especially big data analytics. They have, that's a course where they do a lot of interesting stuff. So all courses are interesting. We have a lot of courses where students are exposed to some applications where they will need to use programming skills to work on data. So where they, and it's not necessarily just big data analytics, but with machine learning engineering specifically, we will ask students to work with data, to analyze data, to build models. But again, our approach, I wanted to be very clear that our approach is hands-on. So it's not like that you will read some theory and then you will be guided. We provide, like if it's a lab, but then we also have labs. Then in addition to, all right, so we have lots of options, but labs, they're guided labs, that which means you will have steps and you also, that's what, how you complete that, that's the output that you expect. And then professors will help you to get through this, GTs will help you to get through that. I'm not sure if I answered the question. Was it helpful? Okay, yes, thank you so much. Yes, it's a bit different for different professors, so it's which I think is also helpful because it's interesting to see how experts in different fields, how they present their knowledge and how they interact with students. So I see a lot of and again, we have guest speakers from industry. They just show you specifically what they do with their everyday jobs in AI and machine learning. So that's very exciting. To me, it's exciting.
That's amazing. Okay. So it is a couple minutes past 8. So I guess last call.
Mhm.
And thank you so much for your time, Dr. Ratikova. I can tell
Oh,
you're very enthusiastic.
I enjoy. I can stay with you for another 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Why?
and just talk about it. But the best way is to check around, to look at other programs that they are available out there, and no matter which program you choose, if it's something that is interesting, that excites you, that you think that you will enjoy learning that. Just a quick story, I promise. But 2 days ago, I've met one of the prospective students and mid-career, and she works in a very large retail, very large, very large retail company, and she was so enthusiastic about data. She was so, the way she spoke about it, and she just, and I was thinking, even if data, this field, data science will be still very hot, but even if it was not very hot, she was so intrigued by data. Then if when she gets to the program, she's in the program, and when she gets there, then she will be successful no matter what, because she was so excited about it. And that's what I always tell students: check around, look around, come back with questions. But we are happy to support you. We're very happy to work with students, and we'll enjoy working with you. So I hope that you will find a good program.
Well, I might sign up, and I'm not tech savvy. So
Come
you
to
know.
us.
Okay. Well, thank you so, so very much. And attendees, thank you so much for joining us. I hope it was informative for you as it was for me. And Dr. Ratikova, any final comments before we?
No, no, just thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to see students interested in education, not students, guests, attendees who are interested, who took the time to be here. That's for us, this is again, for us, it's our future, and we care a lot about it. And I hope that we will see you in our classes. I still have that hope. And I wish you, everyone, I wish you good luck with all the plans and ideas and excitement that you have about your future education.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Doctor. And thanks,
Goodbye.
attendees. Have a
Goodbye.
good night. Bye-bye.